Hello guys, I know we're all hyped about Bannerlord, so I have decided to list top 5 speculations about this upcoming release, which apparently is going to be done by the end of this year. So tighten your seatbelts, we're in for a wild ride, boys. And so we shall begin with number 5. And number 5 goes to the PC requirements, and I have good news for you ladies and gentlemen. You won't need anything extremely powerful to run this game, but it won't be any crap rig either. Here is basically what you will need to run the game smooth at low settings, maybe even mid if we're lucky. It took me a couple of hours roaming around the forums to come to the conclusion of what you will need for this, and it's on your screens right now. For the CPU, you won't need anything extremely powerful, but it certainly won't run, or at least run very well on something like Pentium or Celeron. But these CPUs is what you should be aiming for to run the game on low mid quality, which is not bad at all, and I assume most of you guys have much better rigs than that, so stop sweating and get ready for number 4. We might have 2 different outfits. First obviously is your armor, which you wear while fighting those vile beggars, and the other one is for more casual occasions, like fists. What I am hoping for is that your casual outfit is going to be as, if not more important than your armor, simply because it shows your status in the society. What I'm talking about is taking penalties for having a really crap outfit, like losing relation with lords and ladies across Calradia, because you look like a dirty peasant. All the console players would have to lose relation all the time in that case. And obviously getting respect from the same people for having a good outfit. I think that would be a really cool addition to the social aspect of the game, especially back then when it was really important to hold a good image of yourself, because nobody cares if you're a god on the battlefield when you show up at a feast in dirty rags. Number 3. Oh boy, I'm excited about this one. Battle size might be up to 500 people on the field. Of course, it all depends on your machine, but from what we saw in the showcase, the battle size limit was about 300, but I'm really hoping they go the Viking Conquest way and let the player decide which battle size they want, from very little for people with bad rigs and up to 1000 for royal PC gaming rigs. And by the way, remember that weird looking laptop the guys from Tailwards used to show Bannerlord? Well, that baby is packed with 2 8GB 980 mobile GeForce GTX, which is freaking crazy, which in comparison to normal graphics cards is almost as good as 770. How freaking crazy is that? Well anyways, now we're getting to number 2. Shit's getting spicier, boys. I think this one is what everyone would be hoping for to see in the game, and it's better fucking sieges. From what we saw so far, there will be more siege equipment like catapults. Hopefully trebuchets will be added as well, just to give us a little more variety. Now, what I really want to see is different stages of the actual siege. For example, first one should be breaking down a piece of wall or the gates to gain access to the town. The second stage would be to gain control over that area so you can make sure your troop supply won't be cut off later during the battle. Then get into the town and kill its defenders, while also we should have the option to kill civilians. This should be chosen before the battle. For example, you simply get to choose to tell your troops to leave the people alone, so later your relation with them doesn't go down as much. For example, if you want to capture the city and then keep it as your own. Or, if you're raiding, you should be able just to kill everyone and everything. Entering houses should also be something that we can do while, raging and pillaging. It would be really cool to see your troops running around killing traders, merchants, maybe holding stuff they've stolen from the people that live in the town, like, I don't know, carpets or pots, which is actually a possibility because in the showcase, we could see people holding that kind of stuff in the market area. After that is done, there is a main castle where the Lord has the remaining troops and maybe some gold on, I don't know, whatever he's hiding up there. If your original plan was just to raid the city, you should be able to stop here and just leave. But if you decide to proceed and capture the castle, and you manage to capture the Lord and his family, here is what I'm really hoping you can do. 1. Kill the Lord. Now before you start screaming, what and how, are you crazy? I will explain this in the last point, in the 5th one. 2. You should be able to steal his wife or daughter, maybe all of them, and do these 3 things. Kill, ransom, maybe make them your concubines. Again, I will explain this at the last point. So that way the player has got the freedom that none of the other games can offer, except maybe for Crusader Kings 2, but these are two very similar and two very, very different games at the same time, so I won't go too much into that. And thus we get to the point number 5. We need succession lines. Imagine Warband, where you can have children, which will make the game more orientated about your family and your banner. Get it? Bannerlord, banner? This means that when you have kids, they grow up quickly, and if you're a king, there is a line of succession, which basically means you raise your sons to fight, and they eventually command their own armies and become a bannerman that fights for you, basically your vassals. So essentially, you are a lord and serve a king, or you're a king, and your sons serve you. Then once you eventually pass away, they become the lord, and you play as that character. So the game is more about your banner and your family legacy than about you. Of course, some people won't like this as it's a huge game changer, but this inevitably makes the game so much better. We all have played Warband, and we all know at some point there is literally nothing to do. And this option allows you to continue playing in the same world as you started, but with completely different characters. I will just present one of the scenarios that could happen, just one. Basically, you become the king of a big kingdom. You have 3 sons. Now, by the rules, your oldest son should get everything. However, your other sons don't agree and see themselves as rulers of your kingdom. That way, so when you die, the kingdom splits into 3 smaller ones, and you have to either reunite it all over again. Maybe, if you're the weaker son, you decide to leave and, I don't know, create another kingdom, I don't know. Maybe you were smart enough as a father to see that coming and fix the problem before it even happened. I don't know, maybe by assassinating one of your sons, or 2 of them. Yes, it's cruel, but it's for the good of the kingdom. Or your sons could have had a very good relationship with each other, and they'd be happy with the older one being the king, and so on. This brings so many possibilities to the gameplay and the story within each bloody playthrough. It would be absolutely incredible to have that implemented in the game. I'm really hyped to hear anything about this from the devs, even if this is not going to be in there. We just need to know. Devs, if you're watching this, please keep up with the development. I reckon you've got one of the best supporting communities out there, and Bannerlord is going to be the game of the decade for all of them. Of course, until you release the next Mount and Blade. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please bear in mind that this is all my opinion, so you don't have to agree with me. And I hope we get a great conversation going on in the comments. Have a little discussion about what any ideas, and I will see you around in my next videos. See you guys.